Click the link below for a 30-day free trial of Audible.
Buy my merch or I'm gonna hurt you.
Yo! Yes, everybody, we are back with some more Jujutsu Kaisen content. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And actually, I'm a bit late on this. Pardon me, life has been crazy the past 2 weeks. So, July 6th-ish, there was an actual Jujutsu Kaisen exhibition, and Gege, and along with his art and key stuff of JJK, was featured. And basically, it was a big behind-the-scenes expo for JJK. Honestly, I wish they had something like this over here in the West, because I would definitely love to attend. I know that they invite certain content creators, especially like reactors, to go to, I think they have one held in like China or something, but I definitely wish they had something like this over here in the West consistently, at least. But there's a lot of information in this little summary that Lightning gave. There's also one really big thing which directly ties into a video I had on my channel a couple weeks ago, so we're gonna talk about it. So again, shout out to Lightning on Twitter for giving us this very brief summary and debrief, and yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. But before we start today's video, guys, please make sure you use code DAFFY10 at your next purchase at animeexpress.com. Please make sure that you get yourself something nice like a hoodie, a t-shirt, a Pokeball, or even like some anime inspired lights, anything anime related that you need. Please make sure you head on over there. Link will be in the description below. Please make sure you use my code. That is Daffy10. And yeah, let's get on to it. Summary of behind scenes story reveals from JJK exhibition. Yuji isn't the type of character who aspires to be someone like Hokage or Pirate King. Now, obviously, but whenever people make comparisons to Yuji being like, oh, well, Yuji's just JJK's a Naruto clone, and that really doesn't really hold any weight. Yuji's whole goal is to die surrounded by people that, you know, he is friends with. He wants to die surrounded by people that he has saved and formed bonds with. Yuji's like actual self-esteem is very, 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 very low compared to most other shonen protagonists and things like that. Yuji doesn't put himself very high on any totem pole, which is why you have, you know, the whole cog mentality, which is why something that he actually needs to drop, because the cog mentality, I feel like, definitely holds him back. So if JJK is going into its final arc rather than in its final arc right now, that's something that I would like to see them directly confront. I don't know. It's weird. Gege has a really weird relationship with Yuji. Yuji is the main character, but Gege has like made some weird statements saying that there was a clickbait title I saw that said that Gege thought Yuji was boring. I don't necessarily know how much I believe that. Again, it was clickbait. I didn't click on it. Initially, Megumi was the MC and Sumiki was also part of chapter 1, but idea was scrapped after Gege reread and found it boring. Yeah, I would agree with this. I don't know exactly what Gege had planned. I did see that Sukuna, his design initially had horns, which, to be honest, I would actually really, really hate. It's so cliche, right? Very Bleach inspired. I absolutely love the tattoos. I love the deformed eye that he has on the forearms. I absolutely love his design as it is now. So I feel like with horns, it's just like leaning a little too hard to the double angle. No, fantastic design. But Megumi as the MC, I don't know if people will be feeling the story as much, man, to be honest with you. I mean, to be honest, I even find that Megumi's deuteragonist role hasn't really been played up too well on Gege's part either. The story is just kind of all over the place, not in a bad way, but there's just so much going on consistently. I don't know. I definitely feel like we could have used at least another arc or two. Definitely. Initially, Yuji was meant to be a supporting character to Megumi with weak relation to Sukuna. Both Yuji and Megumi had completely different surnames. Choso and Yuji were siblings, along with an idea of Choso killing Yuji and taking on his role. I don't know if this is more of an avenge type of role or just another support character, because I definitely do think that Gege had an idea that he wanted Yuji to have some sort of blood manipulation by the end of the series at some point, thus making, you know, him and Choso related. So I don't know. I don't know. People say that Gege doesn't plan anything out and that Gege is just like writing on the fly. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second. And definitely there are some aspects that do feel like they were improvised, but they're very small and kind of far between. In making JJK from JJK 0, originally a one-shot series, Gege decided not to include Yuta in an introduction to simplify the story. But Gojo is the mentor of the story, and removing him would be like My Hero Academia without All Might, so Gojo stayed. I think that this is a very good idea. I think that Yuta showing up late in the game, similar to Red from the Pokemon games, I believe it was Soul Silver or one of those games where you fight Red at the end. You usually were Red in the OG Pokemon game. So I do like that. It gives the coming back, being level 100 and then coming back to an area that you were previously under leveled in, type of thing. So I do like it. And also it makes for way more hype scenes with Yuta because we had so much time with him initially, or after season 1 if you just if you watch season 1 then watch the movie and then seeing him return, it's like, whoa, what's he got in his pocket? I do wish that we saw Yuta's training. I do wish that we saw some of Yuta's training. Now they've kind of been sprinkling it in back and forth here with these flashbacks with Gojo getting on Yuta about his cursed energy, but I would like to see just what exactly he was doing with Miguel in Africa. Also including Gojo in the beginning of this series is definitely a good idea. I don't know exactly how popular Gojo was in JJK 0 when it first came out, but I will tell you that a lot of JJK's popularity was built upon Nanami and Gojo thirst traps. You cannot deny that. The Gojo fangirls kept this series pumping and alive. Obviously, the fights and all these different things, but is season 1 really that good compared to like season 2 and season 3? No, I don't think so. There are definitely some good moments, but JJK did not hit my top 10, top 5 anime until I read after, and I was like, you know what I mean? Nanami was a curse user, killed civilians, good at desk work, but still complained about it. Killed civilians. Was Nanami originally gonna be like an anti-hero? I'm confused. Huh? I don't think that would have been. I don't think that would have been necessarily too interesting, to be honest with you. Just because, given his appearance, he already kind of looks like a bad guy. So I do like that. I do like what Nanami was instead. Again, I wish we had more time with him, but that's just a problem Gege has just consistently. Geto was always intended to be fake, but identity wasn't decided until Shibuya. Okay, so there's a lot of people that were saying that, oh my God, Gege had no idea who Kajaku was until Shibuya. Oh, no. The actual identity and I'm assuming that the relation to Tengen and everything like that, I'm assuming that wasn't decided, but he had already seeded Narutoshi Kamo all the way back at the end of the womb arc or whatever, at the end of season 1, right? So I think literally just putting a direct label on Kenjaku wasn't decided until Shibuya. Definitely, because the scars and stitches were already there. Yuki was also a candidate. Yuki being inhabited by Kenjaku, ooh. I'm not gonna lie, that would have been fire. That would have been sick. That would have been sick. I would say so. Oh God, dude, Fem Kenjaku fan art. Like when Lobotomy Kaisen was at its peak and we got that Fem nurse Kenjaku. Oh God, Lord have mercy. No. Never mind. You can keep Kenjaku Yuki. I'm good. Gege had already decided to depart Nanami and Nobara in Shibuya before the arc. Now, this is why I'm gonna title the video and have as the basis of the thumbnail. Now, this is very interesting. So if you guys remember, about a month or so ago, I made a video talking about the Nobara death problem in JJK. And this is very interesting to me. Now it says depart, not death, but it says depart. Obviously Nanami is dead. Nobara, the thing is that there's very, very easily a way you could have Nobara come back into the story, similar to Todo, and have her soul resonance be a killer for Sukuna. Maybe. I would just not like it. I'm very curious to see why Nobara did not like Nobara. This is so weird to me because it definitely felt like Gege was trying to course correct with the big flashback that she had. It was very emotional, and I did like it in retrospect. I liked it more when it was animated as opposed to reading it. Because I think the direction of the anime definitely helped make it more engaging. But it definitely did feel like Gege was trying to backtrack and trying to make us care about Nobara more. So, I don't know. Nobara definitely should have had some more solo fights or just, solo chapters and things like that. But Gege doesn't really do that in general anyway. But yeah, I mean, for everyone that's coping and saying Nobara is alive and all this stuff, I mean, look, dude, listen, Guiezao. Looks like I've never watched One Piece, brother. Oh, yes. If you remember, I made that bet. I said, Nobara comes back, I'll make a first arc One Piece review and upload it. Looks like that's never happened. Gege's been good to me. Mei didn't die because characters who don't have the appeal to make readers sad when they die don't need to die. This is kind of weird, to be honest with you. Like Nanami dying, how popular was Nanami dying? like when Nanami died, this is kind of weird because like how popular was Nanami when he died in the manga? I'm not talking about the anime. I'm talking about in the manga because like, dude, anime onlys were literally shit pissing and crying themselves when Nanami died, which definitely felt over dramatic to me. Not just because they need to get a reaction for content, but also I just Nanami. I don't have a connection to Nanami like other people do. I don't know where it comes from, but I understand what he's saying here. But it does kind of feel like shock value over substance. This is why Choso's death hit so hard, because we had ample time to enjoy Choso with the main group. We have seen him in multiple fights. We understand his character exactly, and he died doing something that he would do 10 times over, which is dying for Yuji. You know what I mean? So I definitely Choso's death is the best in the series by far. I'll make a video on it at some point, but. Mei dying, I sure, whatever, who cares? I'd be more upset with Kusakabe dying than Mei dying, to be honest with you. The Guiezao group caught in Jogo versus Sukuna died, but Kusakabe and Panda didn't. That is, I mean, it was implied, but it was just never outright stated. So I guess that's a weakness that Gege never showed the aftermath of that, because the anime didn't either. So I guess they got struck by the meteor. Because, okay, good. Well, thank you. Gege wanted to make Culling Game more like a Gojo rescue arc through its tournament setup. Is that not what it is? Is that not what the Culling Games is already? I feel like the Culling Games is implied to be that way though, because by the end of the Culling Games, they get the the back to the prison realm open and everything. This might be a translation thing or something, but let me know what you guys think about this. Gege wanted to make Culling Game more like a Gojo rescue arc. Interesting. Okay. Gege considers the lack of Culling Game's rules in battle plus little background on Tsumaki to be failures on his part. The second, yes. And I've talked about this at length, so I'm going to keep harping on it. But the first, the lack of Culling Game's rules in battle. The Culling Game already kind of got a little complicated. Like if Gege wanted to go into like Montagari, however you say it, levels of like big brain battle IQ stuff, I think that he would kind of tread a line that he's not really comfortable with. So I don't necessarily consider that a failure in my opinion. He was glad to have at least allowed Yuji and Tsumaki to meet. Yeah, I mean, obviously, but it's Tsumaki in quotes because it was actually Yorozu, but yeah, Tsumaki, that was a fumble, unfortunately. Kashima was intended to be more of a serial killer / psychopath with a scythe. No, I don't know, man. I would have been generic. No. It would have been your very typical manhwa psychopath. He's cool. Like Kashima's design is great, but also what makes his design great is his mindset accompanying it too. Character personalities have a lot to do with how well the character designs go. Like Jotaro from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, or Bakugo from My Hero Academia, right? Like just looking at them, you can kind of tell what they're about. And I mean, like Kashimo, the first page we ever see of him is through a hole in another person's chest. So I mean, is he a serial killer? I mean, kinda. He just kind of went around killing everybody, trying to fight the strongest. So is he technically a serial killer? Maybe. He is a psycho though. He definitely is a psycho. He's just like most of the JJK casts are like warped beyond the belief. So we are coming up on the end over here. Gege was planning on drawing a death portrait of Gojo for volume 26 cover, but came up empty-handed. Yeah, a lot of people did not like that Gojo cover for 26. I loved it. I don't really think that it looked bad for some reason. Maybe I have low standards, but I do feel like people were way over dramatic. Gojo definitely does look different, and occasionally Gege does struggle with drawing Gojo, but I think the cover looked great. Now, does it look as good as the one before that? No. Does it look as good as the one with my glorious King Maguna? No, absolutely not. But I think it looked pretty good. Planned to draw a camellia flower, but Gojo lost, so he ended up with another camellia flower that looks similar to it. I have no idea what the significance of camellia flowers are. The symbolism behind the camellia: the flower represents a spirit of depth, self-reflection, and inner strength. Interesting. Okay. Even if Gege thinks the art might be good, there are times when it doesn't match the reader's expectations and vice versa. He can draw better on the Jump cover without forcing himself. Sometimes his assistants do the coloring. The assistants, that definitely makes sense because Hakari has had two very different looks. He has the one volume cover where it looks like his hair is like a lavenderish color, and then you go to it's Yuji, Maki, Yuta, and Hakari standing in a line, and it's the one where Hakari looks kind of husky, and his skin is like completely different. His hair is like blonde. So that definitely makes sense to me. But yeah, this is all very, very, very interesting stuff here, man. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this. Now, as far as the art goes for JJK, I do think that the art sometimes is a little inconsistent. Sometimes this is due to Gege's health. Sometimes it's due to the schedule. Now, Gege himself, after he was, you know, so sick, they basically made him every 3 weeks go on break. Every 3 to 2 weeks go on break, basically. Like, we just came off the month break, we had 2 chapters, and then we're on break again, because Jump is just not trying to, JJK is a cash cow right now, and they're really not trying to jeopardize it, if at all possible. In the anime, actually, when we go into the Zenin Clan massacre, I actually kind of would like to see some of like that super rough sketch, kind of give it more of like a demented look. Now, it might not go through because it might remind Gege of a bad time in his life because he was so sick. So I doubt that'll happen, but if Gege is okay with it, I think it'd be pretty cool. But I definitely do think people can be very over dramatic with how JJK is drawn, because Gege can draw his ass off. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I think Gege right now has some of the best art that he has had since Shibuya. Like, there are so many shots of Sukuna. Dude, that's to do Sukuna launching Fuga, and then you have the next scene after that where it's like it's horizontal. Dude, I'm telling you, oh my God. And then you have Yuji's awakening. Yuji has not looked this good in a very long time as far as how he's been drawn. So no, I think that Gege he's definitely stepping up. I mean, and just look at how many spreads that we've had since the past 20 chapters or so. We've had some crazy spreads. Dude, when Todo first pulled up, he looked fantastic. The page after that, I did think he looked a little too blocky for me personally, but when he first popped up with the bandage on his hand, oof. You know what's weird? Do you remember when Yuta pulled up on Kenjaku and cut his head off, and that initial page, he looked like Light. He looked like Light Yagami from Death Note. No, he looked like L. He looked like L from Death Note. I don't know why. I think maybe it's just how big his eyes were and how dead they were, and his hair. But it was just hilarious. But yeah, so that was a lot of the info from the JJK Art Exhibition Lab, and let me know what you guys think about all this information here. As always, please make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and yes, I will see you guys and gals in next episode. Y'all make sure you take care of yourselves, guys, and have a good one. Peace.